Good morning. Often in my workshops, people ask me this question. They go, Raju, what is the biggest hurdle, challenge in becoming a good public speaker? What is the hurdle that prevents me, stops me from being my best as a public speaker? And how is it connected to the fear of public speaking? That's the question they ask me. Sometimes, I try to answer it, and it's not an easy answer. So I throw back the question to them, and they go, lack of confidence, no experience, no education, no potential, no talent, lack of preparation, no subject matter expertise, bad PowerPoints, bad lights, lousy dance floor. That's why we don't dance well. Such are the reasons that people give me. And I believe that most all of them are correct, valid, reasonable, and have an impact on the quality of your performance, on the quality of your presentation, on the quality of your abilities to speak in public. Well, what I want to do today in this next 15 to 20 minutes is give you another insight. And that, I believe, is one of the biggest hurdles in public speaking, or becoming a good public speaker, or delivering a good presentation. So I've been in the industry for more than 25 years, and at the beginning of my profession, I had a few mentors, peers, colleagues, teachers, senior ladies and gentlemen who taught me the skill set, kind of moved me up inch by inch. One of them was a gentleman called Mario Garolini. Mario Garolini, as he liked to call himself. He was Italian, lived in the Philippines, worked for a company called Alaska Milk Corporation. He was some kind of a supervisor, some specialist technician / supervisor. And he was a tall, handsome man in his 60s and kind of hippie-like, and he used to ride a motorcycle, wear a nice colorful wig, colorful clothes, date women half his age, and he was a great guy, good speaker, well loved by his friends and others in the industry. He was bold, clear, outspoken, colorful, and people thronged towards him for his opinion on things, and he shared them liberally, well liked. Yet one day it happened. His lifestyle caught up to him. He was hit by a truck when riding a motorcycle. Or maybe he hit the truck, I don't quite remember. So at his wake, a large number of public speakers turned up, his friends, his colleagues, his peers in the industry, professionals, many of them. And I was in the lineup too. I was the last in the line. Each of these speakers well dressed, well behaved, well groomed, and they knew their craft. So they all came up and shared two bits about Mario Garolini to the audience present at the Magallanes Chapel in Manila, Philippines, in Makati, Philippines. Each of those speakers, fabulous, really, excellent, eloquent, stylish, to the dot, suited, necktie, the nice shoes, etc. And each of them was trying to kind of outperform the other speaker. I made my efforts too. Very impressive lineup. And yet, of all that lineup, there was one guy who stood out the most. Why did he stand out the most? Is because, number one, when he came up, he didn't look much of a speaker. He was simply dressed in sandals, slacks, and a short-sleeved bush shirt, polo shirt, sometimes we call it, and humble. And he kind of shuffled up to the stage. He was shifty-eyed. He was wringing his hands. He was nervous, stammering. He was Mario's friend from his factory. And people didn't give him much attention in the start, and then he began to speak. He began to talk. He began to work his way through what he wanted to tell us. Soon the whole crowd, those nicely dressed speakers, nicely styled speakers, they began to turn around and become interested in what he was saying. They became highly engaged. They were laughing, talking, smiling, crying, feeling sad. With every word he uttered, the level of engagement was high. And he was like the Pied Piper, playing his flute. And everyone was following him. Everyone was dancing emotionally to his song. And I was blown away. It was one of the most impressive experiences of my public speaking career. And post that, after that experience, and of course some more work and research, I wrote my first book called The Heart of Public Speaking, which is about authenticity and congruence and co-creating synergies between you and the audience. It's authenticity, congruence, and co-creating synergies, back and forth. And what I want to share is what exactly that man did, that supervisor, that blue-collared worker man did with us. First, let's establish what is it that comes between us and a performance like that guy. All of us have a certain self-image. When we see ourselves in the mirror, we know how we look. When we sit down and reflect in our quiet times, we know who we are, kinda. We know what we want, we know what we are good at, and we also know that there are things about us that we need to work upon. We know that. We have a certain awareness. Maybe we are not sold on it, but we have a certain idea. And when an opportunity comes for us to speak in public, we begin to try to change that self-image of ours and project another larger and a much more impressive one. The kind of self-image, a kind of image that people will appreciate and like. While at the same time, the audience that we are supposed to speak to, it could be a crowd of 50, 100, or 1,000. And these gentlemen and ladies also have a little idea about us, about you, me, the speaker. They probably have heard about you, read about you, or were told about you, and they too also have a certain idea about you in their heads. Now, these two dynamisms, one, you and your self-image, and the fact that you're trying to project a bigger one, and the fact that these people have an idea about you and they're waiting for you to turn up. Both these data bundles of data, they're not static. They are both dynamic. They are always in a state of flux. You working upon yourself, kind of stabilizing your self-image and then trying to appear big. Well, these people have an image of you, and then they're trying to look. They're looking at your appearance, your behavior, your communication, your gestures, the level and the steadiness of your eyes and the inflection in your voice, and they're trying to understand you. They're trying to find out how authentic you are, how convinced you are, and how true you are to your thoughts that you're sharing with them. So these two bundles of data, dynamic bundles of data, are coming towards each other. As they're coming towards each other, and you being the one on the hotspot, the one who's trying to create a different image, the one who's being assessed and judged by people, are bound to get nervous. You're bound to get anxious. You're bound to become afraid of public speaking. So the biggest hurdle is that difference of who you are and what you're trying to present, and what the people see and what they assume you to be. That is the chasm. That is the gap. And it is not an easy gap to fill, because it can be seen through. Any facades, any charades, anything that you pretend to be can be seen through. And what is not true of you, of your words, of your thoughts and your actions, doesn't sell, doesn't impress, doesn't influence at all. People know it, that it is pretentious, it's fake, it's phony. That is the struggle. And the thought of it before, during, and after can fill us with fear. That is the cause, according to me. A gap between your self-image and the image that you are trying to project, and the image that the people receive and assess. Now, the question is, you might say, Raju, that is pretty obvious to us. It never gets talked about. People talk about lights, camera, action, floor, preparation, PowerPoint, words, etc. People don't talk about this. People talk about the problem rather than the person. Now, how do we manage this? How do we juggle these two bundles of data and create a certain amount of harmony, co-create congruence, and put across authentic information, authentic sharing, if I may? How do you do it? Number one is come to terms with who you are, how you look, how much you know, how you behave, your words, your thoughts, your actions, your gestures, your knowledge base, your wisdom base, your levels of emotional intelligence. Come to terms with that. Settle down. Say, this is who I am. I'm fine with it. Let me not try to blow myself out of proportion. Step one, that's grounding yourself. When you come to terms with yourself, then the second part is the content, the delivery, the thing that you're sharing. Make it outward focused. Recognize this, that the people in the room also come from different walks of life, from different colorful backgrounds, and they too are also in a state of dynamism. They too are evolving, shifting, transforming, changing while they are present in the room. Give them something of value such that they stop, listen, pay attention, and be influenced by you. So have a true desire to create value and to change them for the better. Two things. For one big hurdle between you and your best self as a public speaker. Two things. Ground yourself and share your thoughts authentically with a desire to do good. Two things. Other than that, practice, prepare, research, right? Take care of all the other logistic things in the surrounding so that your performance is not disturbed, unhinged. These are my thoughts about what comes between you and a better you as a public speaker, and how the fear how the fear of public speaking can be managed. It can never be done away with, it can be managed. Throughout your lifetime, you are constantly, consistently growing, evolving. Today, I still consider myself a greenhorn at times, and I too go through the same process of settling down, grounding, and focusing outwards. So there you go. Those are my thoughts, and I hope you like them. I hope you appreciate them. I hope they work for you and serve you towards a better you. My name is W.H.Auden, and I'm a speaker, trainer, coach based in the Philippines. And until next time, no wait. My name is W.H.Auden, and I'm a speaker, trainer, coach based in the Philippines. If you need my services, look me up. Otherwise, until then, adios and mabuhay.